What's up, CEOs? I'm hoping everything is going all right with the sound. If you're watching this right now, just let me know and type in, replay so I can get an idea of like what time you're watching this. Let's see, can you hear me? I was having some difficulties getting on, so hopefully everything works out. Good morning. Let me know who is joining me today. You guys, hopefully, this was something that you were like, oh yeah, I need to be there for that. How to sell a car in 3 days or less. And you have Joe in Southern California to thank for that. He was talking about it on the last video about like, what's the quick sale formula? We're live. What's up, De Niro? Yeah, good morning, Joe. I was just telling everybody that this was inspired by you and your request. So everybody, if you enjoy this video, be sure to thank Joe for speaking up and saying what he needed. Yeah, hopefully you get what you need. I did write down some notes because I wanted to make sure I gave y'all like the real deal without forgetting anything. So let me pull up my notes and then we can get into it. So what's going on, y'all? What's been up while I pull up these notes? Okay, is this it? Okay, yeah. Okay, so how to sell a car in 3 days or less, or like it's about 5 things that I do to get a quick sale. Okay, so just a little background. Like when I first started, my biggest problem was selling cars fast, like being able to have consistent income. Really, that was my thing. Was like, I'm investing this money into these cars because I didn't have like a huge budget, right? So I needed to get that money out as soon as possible to go and buy another car and, do it all over again before bills were due in 30 days, right? So I could get as much money as I could and, take some as income and then, pay all the overhead, pay personal bills, et cetera, et cetera. So then I was like, all right, I need to figure out how to sell cars on demand. Like, how do I do that? So that's what this step process came out of. I really thought it through. I tested a couple of things and I realized what it takes. All right, De Niro, you got a '06 Ford Taurus with 144 but 1,500. That's what's up. Yeah. So, that's kind of, prices are a little higher at the auction. I don't want to, discourage you like that wasn't good, because that's probably very good. I think you'll be able to sell that and sell it quickly and for a good profit. Ford Tauruses is one of the cars I like to sell a lot of. So good luck to you on that. So the 5 parts to a quick sale, okay? And let me just give a little disclaimer. I say 3 days or less because that's what happens most of the time. That happens more than 50% of the time. It's like 70% of the time that it goes down like that, right? And the other 30%, I may have to tweak a thing or two, give the listing new energy. I might have to do a couple of things and then it'll sell again. It'll sell quickly. All right. So I don't want you to be like, okay, every car I get is going to sell in 3 days, because that's just not the truth. Right. But you can have a system where you can depend on things happening this way most of the time. And that's what I'm going to give you today. So the first part of that is, of course, you have to have the right car to sell, right? So De Niro was talking about his '06 Ford Taurus. That's a 4-door family car. That's the right car to sell, right? So when I mean the right car to sell, I mean a cash car, 4 doors, family friendly, because people are you're going to have more people buying cars with 4 doors than you do with 2 doors. Okay. You're going to have more people buying an SUV with a 3rd row than you will, without a 3rd row. Okay. That's just the reality of it. There are people looking for that specific, those specific qualities in the car because they need it for their family. Right. So you have to have the right card, cash card, $3,500 or less, right, that you're selling, because that's the cash people have on hand usually, or the cash that they can get their hands on easily, right? Once you start getting more than that, people need financing. So you want to have a cash card, $2,500, $3,000, $3,500, $2,000. And then you want to have 4 doors. You want to have a family-friendly car. Cool, you got it? Everybody understand what I mean by that? If you don't, let me know in the comments, okay? So the first thing is you have to be trying to sell the right kind of car, all right? That is good for a quick sale. Because every car is the right kind of car for the right customer. But for a quick sale, that's the formula. That's like the right car, all right? So then the next part of this is you have to have confidence in your car. And I know I've been talking a lot about confidence because, I mean, it really is the truth. Like, you have to feel like you have a good car. So that means you have to have, you have to be satisfied with your reconditioning process, and you have to be satisfied with the detailing. Okay. So you have to feel like when you pull up, or when they pull up for that test drive, that they're going to be like, all right, okay. They're not going to be like, right? Like, you have to already feel that that's how it's going to go down. Like, they're already going to be impressed with this car. All right. And now it popped in my mind to say a little thing about you being impressed with your own car. So most of the auto dealers I work with me because they need help in understanding how older cars with higher miles are valuable, because that's just not the kind of car they would buy and sell. And so they get tripped up on the condition, they get tripped up on the mileage, they get tripped up because that's a car that they wouldn't roll up on and be impressed by, right? But that's the kind of car that, you know, is the backbone of a really successful cash car dealership. So when I say be impressed with your own car, I mean impressed from the eyes of your customer, okay? You have to take your experiences or, you know, desires for your own personal vehicles out of it and think in terms of your customer and what would be impressive for them, right? So be impressed by the car you're presenting to someone who really wants and needs this car, because they've called you, they drove out to see it, so they are serious, okay? All right, so be confident in your reconditioning and detailing process. The next part of quick sale. Okay, any questions? Because I'm going through it fast, I realize. And I am, okay, thanks. All right, I see. Okay, yeah, I need a little affirmation, confirmation that this is landing, okay, that you're, you know, this is like, okay, this is good stuff. All right, so that was the third part, or the second part was the confidence. So we talked about the right car, the confidence in your reconditioning and detailing. The next part is your pictures, your description, and your pricing. I put that all in the same part because that's all about the listing, right? That's the online marketing part of it, okay? De Niro says, got hit on the car, haven't even made it home yet. Aw, what? What you mean? Let me know what you mean. So the pictures, description, and pricing. What's up, Darius? Been a minute. You have to have, okay, try to sell the car. Like, you need to take pictures, you need to write a description, and you need to price it like you're trying to sell it. And then it just popped in my mind to say, pricing it like you're trying to sell it does not mean the cheapest price, okay? So make sure you know how to price your vehicles, and you know what sells a car. Like, good pictures, sales description, right? Information. So like, try to sell the car. And I only say that because I've seen descriptions, and I'm like, are you trying to sell the car? It doesn't look like you're trying to sell the car, right? It looks like you're like, here's a car, come buy it. You got to tell people why they need to buy this car, right? Or what is it about this car that's going to fit their needs? Automatic seems to sell faster than a stick. Yes, it does. Yes. We have a lot fewer stick drivers than we do, than we have ever before. I learned how to drive a car on a stick. So I prefer a stick, in some cars though. But like as a parent now, I can't drive a stick everywhere. And especially if I'm in traffic in Atlanta, I can't drive a stick. So, you know, if I'm looking for a new car, I'm going to look for an automatic. So yes. So yes, keep that in mind. Buying a stick, it might stick around a little longer, but that does not mean that it won't sell. Okay. But it's going to be, that's one of those examples that's outside of 3 days. And so, yeah, I probably should have mentioned that in the right car. Automatic transmission for sure. Okay. So, pictures, description, and pricing. Try to sell the car. This is what we spend the most time on in the Auto Dealer Basics program. I won't say the most time, but I revisit it often about teaching the auto dealers I work with how to price their cars. Hey, good morning, Eric. It's been a minute. How to price their cars, because pricing is a process. Like it, you know, it requires some assistance sometimes, right? So just know that it might take you a minute to get to the right pricing, but definitely try to sell the car in the pictures, the description, and the pricing. Okay. So that's number 3. Any questions on the right car, confidence in the reconditioning and detailing process, and the pictures, description, and pricing? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? While I take a sip, because I need this morning. I have not been sleeping like fully at night, so I am tired in the morning. I need to figure that out because I need my sleep. But all right, so communication is the next part of the process. And what I mean by communication is after you list the car, after you write the description, after you you know, put the pictures up, after you price it, you should start getting some activity immediately. Okay, that's kind of how I gauge how this car is going to sell. Because if I start getting activity, and mind you, not everyone who hits you up is going to be a buyer, right? But you can be confident that if you start getting activity right away, you're on the right track. Pictures are good, description is good, pricing is good. People are going to text, people are going to call, right? You need to have some kind of way you have to have like a script, like some kind of way in which you're leading them to the test drive. In this script, you need to set expectations. You need to talk about the car. You need to figure out how you answer questions. You need to figure out what you're telling them about the car to to intrigue them enough to come out to see it. Okay, so get you a sales script down so that when the phone starts ringing and people start texting, you know how you're answering those questions. And the way you answer those questions leads you to your buyer. Okay, it's not enough to just answer a question. You have to answer a question and then, you know, have them tell you what their action is going to be. And what I mean by that is like, this is the answer, you know, are you coming out to test drive, right? You need to know that. And then people will tell you, no, because of this, or yeah, I think I will, you know, when can I come out, right? So get you a sales script. Any questions about that? Any questions? Last part of the quick sale formula is your test drive script. Your test drive script is going to be really important because when you want to feel comfortable. You want to come across confident when people come. So you need to already know how you're going to flow through from the first time you say, "Hey, I am," to congratulations on your new car. Okay, so you need to know how you're going to flow through that process and how you're going to transition from one thing to another to lead to signing the papers. Okay, so definitely develop a test drive script that you are comfortable with that leads your customer to the sale. All right. So let's see, questions. Can you expand a little more on how to arrive at the right pricing? Let's see, because pricing, like I said, I talk about that the most in the Auto Dealer Basics program. So let me see how I can condense what's the most important part about pricing. Is it needs to be competitive. I don't know. That doesn't really sound like that's what I want to say. It's okay. So when I'm approaching pricing, I always look at what cars are listed and, how much I can get for the car. So that's probably, hopefully that helps. That's really where I start. What cars are listed and where does my car fit in value? And then price it according to that. Okay, Eric, how to answer the classic question of, I'll give you $3,000 for the car, prices at $3,500. Yes. Okay. So good question, Eric. Good question, because of course you're going to get this a lot. You're going to get it probably on the phone and in the text messages. And my answer to that is I do not negotiate with people who are not serious about buying the car. Like, I know you're serious if you come out to test drive. Okay. That is my answer to that on the front end. And then when we come out, and then the other answer to that is, so do you not think this car is worth it, or is this your budget? Is this all your budget will allow? Okay. You need to understand why people are trying to negotiate, because that's going to give a better taste in your mouth about them as a customer anyway. If you just feel like, they're just trying to, get what they can get, that makes you, feel some type of way, right? But if you feel like, it's only their budget, then I just ask them, well, when can you get the other, say $500 if it's their budget, right? And then they'll usually tell me the story about what's going on. And then I can decide in my mind if I want to entertain someone who does not have, and not entertain someone, but if I want to, if this is the right customer for this car, right? That's when I start to decide, like, based on what I need to bring in and based on the feel I get from this customer, is this going to be the right customer for this car? And then I can say, we'll see what we can do. I still don't negotiate over the phone. Or I can say, no, this car is really at $3,500 and I have other people coming to see it, which usually I do have other activity, right? So that's how to handle it on the front end. On the back end, when you get down to I like this car, people are already in their mind like, okay, how do I get some money off, right? So same question is like, do you not think the car is worth that? Do you not think, is worth that? Or is this a budget? Is this about your budget? Is that all you have for this car? And then, I go through a series of, I don't want to call them rebuttals because that's like traditional sales speak, but it's like I go through a series of like, well, these are the things in the car that are valuable. And if we start talking about money off, these are the things that come off of this deal, right? That usually help them in the long run. And so then they're like, I don't want that. Okay, I'll just give you $3,500. But then there's always that one person, right? And it's always that one person that's like, but I just need something off, right? Like they just don't feel like it was worth it unless they got something off. So I always reserve $100 to take off of the price for that person that needs that win, that needs to feel like they also won. Okay. So hopefully that answers that question. Good question, Eric. Hopefully I answered your question, Joe. Does it help to put no haggle price in the description to screen out serious buyers? I'm not sure, honestly, because I don't put no haggle price. Now, what I will put is firm, which I guess is the same thing. I will put firm. And yes, I think that does weed out people that are like, oh, okay, well, I'm trying to buy this car to resell myself, right? Because you know you have those people who are trying to buy your car to resell or trying to buy your car to export out the country. And they're going to try to haggle you down to a wholesale price. But I have worked with auto dealers who will go down to that price because they're not confident that they have the right car. They're not confident in their recon and detailing process. They're not confident in their business. And so if you need confidence, and I didn't even introduce myself at the beginning of this video, but if you need confidence for people who don't know who I am, I started the Auto Dealer Business School because I want to help people with small budgets, but big hearts and big vision to make big money selling quality cars. And if you need confidence, then the Auto Dealer Basics program might be the answer for you. Give you confidence in the kind of cars you're selling, in your inventory, also in how you're running your business, setting up your systems, and then how you're branding your company. So if you want to know more about that, then you can email me. I'll put my email in the description, or you can schedule a strategy session so we can see if the Auto Dealer Basics program is the best strategy for you. Yeah, and then we can move forward because, yeah, it's time to move forward, right? Don't do the same thing over and over again, or don't let fear prevent you from living out your dreams. I am going to post a testimonial soon of one of my students who recently graduated from the Auto Dealer Basics program. And he was saying in that his dream, this was always his dream. Like, and he started out, you know, working under somebody, but then was like, this is my dream. Like, I really want to do this. So he got what he needed to really do this. So get what you need, so hopefully this was helpful. You got to figure out a way to have quick sales because inventory sitting around will affect your self-esteem. Okay. It will affect your view on, like, am I cut out for this? Is this right for me? All that stuff. Like, you'll start questioning yourself every day you see that car and you're like, oh God, it's still here. Like, why is it still here? Right? Will somebody please call and buy this car? Right? So, yes, tune in next week. I think I'm going to be talking about something about struggling dealerships. I can't remember, but it's going to be something about that. Hopefully it'll be helpful. If you didn't get what you thought you were going to get, let me know what you thought you were going to get out this video. And I wish you all the success and see you soon. Oh, Corey. What's up, Corey? I always price cars maybe 200, 500 more than what I want to leave room for negotiations. Okay. All right. What's one way? I don't know. I rarely negotiate more than that $100. So, I would just challenge you to be more confident in your price. Like, don't leave that much room, because let me tell you the danger of negotiating too much money off. Okay, there's actually a danger there, which if you negotiate too much money, now your customer starts to question the value of that car. Like, oh, why did they give me that much off? Oh, it's not really worth that. Oh, maybe something's really wrong. Like, you can sabotage your own sale negotiating too much money. All right, so keep that in mind. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all soon. Until next time, be safe. Bye.